Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I have something really important I want to talk to you about today, and this has to do with the end of time. Okay. We are in the Nile portal currently, and these energies are massive. And within that, there are things that, what they told us are not true. They just simply are not true. And being the return of Christ, watching the return of Christ truly play out and seeing what that is so special. Like I really do. I'm impressed. I like it a lot. Um, I'm gonna have to, I realize my name and date and time is on here and I'm gonna take it off soon, I promise. Spirit calls me Juniper Bloom Mystique, but my true name is Brianna. I am an ascension master, a master healer and a divine guide to say the least. But since 2019, I've been bringing through the return of Christ. That is undoing darkness all the way back to the beginning of time, freeing Jesus's soul, clearing Mount Shasta, returning the root chakra back to Fiji, opening up the God portal, undoing the false veil, releasing so many trapped souls and more. There was like so much to it, activating all pyramids all over the globe, you guys, and much more. And the coolest part is since my awakening, I didn't know who I was. I just had things happening to me, and it started with healing people. And so I was recording all the work that I did because of that, so I can give it to them. And then during that, I started doing workshops, and during those, started to bring the return of Christ from undoing the false concept of time, uniting Jesus and Mary Magdalene, and undoing the Holy Grail on Christmas Day, which is what God called the resurrection. That was done in 2012. No, sorry, 2022. Wow. I just went way backwards. So you can probably feel this energy, this massive pull. Well, I want to talk today about when I was birthing the new earth over Lionsgate recently, there were 12 gates, okay? There was 12 angels of trumpets. And in the Bible, it talks about 7 trumpets, right? So what is the difference? And I want to talk about that a little today because now God is calling for me to bring the 13 Gates of Abundance workshop for everybody. And this is going to last over 13 days. We're going to start on the 23rd, so just here in a couple days of August. And it's literally going to go for 13 days live with me on Zoom. And in each one, I'm going to help you detox all of the shackles, like what keeps us bound from abundance, from true abundance. Now, you've heard a lot about 12 gates to abundance, right? But then in the Bible, it talks about 7 trumpets trumpeting. Let me show you something really quick because as I was birthing the new earth, I'm just going to show you something really quick of where to find what I'm talking about. In here is the Return of Christ playlist. This is everything I did over the last 5 years, okay? And I do mean everything. From clearing Mount Shasta, it's all here, right? Healing the sun, undoing the darkness of the moon, undoing the false concept of time. And this is only part of it. The rest is in the path to righteousness. Activating hidden dormant chakra systems, which is also relevant, undoing the collective and individual shadow. And in order to rise through this gate, it's going to be those of pure love because there wasn't a lot of love being chosen, right? And so you can't have any karma. This was actually bringing down the blood of Christ and opening up the portal of the Garden of Eden. This was the resurrection that I did live on this channel on Christmas Day. And pyramid activations, Ecuador, there's a whole bunch of those. Undoing the White House, you guys, there's a lot here. But the most important thing I want to talk about and what truly happened to Jesus, what the cross truly was, because it was not real. The true cross was the Ankh, but it broke when they stole my DM's soul. Okay, and I spent a whole year fighting for that, battling that twin flame union. You can actually see all that play out here too. And then I got a walk-in twin flame a couple years ago. So August 30th, actually, we are 9 days away from my 2-year getting a new twin flame. Okay, but I need to talk to you, and that's Eye of Horus, Eye of Ra. So Sekhmet came, the portal of the Nile, right? I did that over a year ago, and this was all part of the return of Christ. Mount Shasta part 2, I burned Samael. You guys, this is very important because the Bible tells you there's 7 trumpets of trumpets, 7 angels of trumpets. But in birthing the return of Christ, in birthing the new earth that I just did, there were 12 trumpets, okay? And I'm going to tell you why. And it goes with this upcoming workshop. For those that get to go into the new earth, we do get true abundance. And that's the only way you're going to find abundance, right? This is when my DM finally took on the soul of Jesus because I had a new one rising, processing the earth death, taking her into heaven. Okay, that was done in September of 23. Now, recently, God said, skirt, alert. Also, Horus returned from the Sphinx. What the Sphinx really was is Horus rose from it. Sekhmet built it over him where he died. On the eclipse, I called everybody home through the sun and the moon, but there wasn't a lot of love being chosen. People were really struggling to choose past the resistance and to see through the lens of unconditional love. So I want to show you this because just a few weeks ago, God shifted time. He said, that's it, we're done. And then I took us into the portal of the Nile, and he gave a message as to why. And then all of a sudden, I was told over Lionsgate to do a workshop, so I started to. On day one, he put my DM and I together again, one final time of union, and put our feet into the core, and we started birthing Garden of Eden, and we separated. There's like one portal wall separating the new earth from the matrix. Day two, and I didn't know what was coming. All of these were so amazing to process and to bring through, and I'm still processing them. So day two, they were the solar system. I realigned the planetary alignment for 7D because I took us into 7D, not 5D. These are all relevant. And over the last full moon, I told you how it represented with these. Day three, I pushed the sun and the moon together, and maximum Christ DNA activations came through and more. And as I'm doing the new earth birthing, all of the matrix light was undone. There's no angels, no God will be left in the matrix, okay? And the time is now. You guys, we're in the final portal now. But check this out. We're almost done. Day four was the seasons, food, life expansion. The seasons are different. They're not going to be so quick and so sporadic and crazy like they were in the Matrix. Day five, it was the chakra system of Earth. That was really cool. And that one went with the dormant chakra system activation. And I didn't know that. Day six was calling all life back and all divination tools. Now, day seven is really important. And not a lot of you have been able to see these, unfortunately. And picking and choosing doesn't serve you because we are in the final portal. So after day six of birthing the new chakra system and calling all light and divination tools back, you cannot have divination tools in the matrix anymore because you cannot use light and darkness anymore, okay? You just cannot. You just cannot. And then in day seven, the coolest thing happened. In day seven, there were 12 angels that appeared and 12 trumpets that started playing. We skipped a few of them because God skipped your opportunity to rise and heal through portals. Okay, he skipped the 7-year tribulation, but there were 12 trumpets because, and then in day 8, your heart reviews are applied and you go through the final portal, and that's upon us now. Okay, and that's why now I get to do the 13 gates of abundant healing. For everybody, it's going to be 13 days long. We start on August 23rd. You can join it if you get to hear the call and you're rising into new earth. Absolutely. Because through all 13 gates, there's 12 gates of darkness. And that came through when I originally did the Nile portal. Okay, they said there's 13 gates, not 12. I opened up the 13th gate. Well, in birthing of day 7, or day 7 birthing of new earth, 12 angels came with 12 trumpets and the gates of heaven opened up. And they specifically said there will be 3 major events, major ones, main ones. There's going to be probably more because each trumpet that I played in there represented something in the matrix being done. Okay. And it's going to cause people to rise up to the gates of heaven. That's what they said. And so don't assume what that means, right? That could there in the Bible, it talks about the 7 trumpets, and one of them caused lightning and fires and all these things. And then the other one caused a mountain burning to fall into the ocean. That goes with Mount Shasta. So it's really all there. So much proof of who I am and what I've done is truly playing out, and it's happening in near real time. Because now is the time. We are rising through the final portal of time now. and I get to bring the 13 gates of darkness starting or 13 gates of abundance starting in a few days. But as I was clearing the return of Christ, and when I came to the Nile and I called back my lifetime of that one, they said there was 13 gates, not 12. Okay. There's 13 gates. The 13th is that of heaven. And that's what they took from you. So that's why on day 7, there's 12 trumpets of angels. The gates of heaven opened. And there's 3 major events to occur for the matrix side. And that's going to cause people to look up and rise, okay, to see who God is, to see who Jesus is, and rise through Christ, because you can only rise through the one who brought it about. And then in day 8, which we just did on August 8th, it was the portal of time. It was so cool how all this came out. Portal of life and your heart reviews are applied, okay? So for those, and these are very important to understand, it's important to watch them all play out in a row and to not pick and choose, because the work of Christ is very vast and very real. And it doesn't fully align with what they told you, because why would they tell you the truth? You would have seen past their veil a long time ago. Okay. So guys, I encourage you, if you hear the call, you do the 13 gates, because I mean, we're going to do it for 13 days every day, starting in the 23rd. So just a couple days from when I'm doing this video. If you hear the call, if you're rising to new earth, right? And it's not judgment and fear that clouds your lens, but excitement and joy and love, and you're ready to ascend, because this is it. And I was processing why there was 12 trumpets and 12 gates, or 12 angels and 12 trumpets on day 7. Do you feel me? I didn't know what I was doing. Every day I was birthing the earth, and I didn't know what was coming next. And on day 7, the 12 angels showed up, and we did skip a few gates because God said, it's just a great reset. You can't have karma to rise, okay? You cannot. You have to have all shadow healed. But it's so exciting. It really is, because there were 12 gates of darkness, and 13 is the heaven on earth, okay? And in order to rise into that 13th gate, you have to be freed of all the 12 gates of tribulation. And that's Revelations 21:13, 21:12, and 21:13. And that played out through the return of Christ on here. So truly, I brought all of Revelations. And then in day 8, we went into the heart review implementation. So day 7 was the 12 trumpets. Day 3 just played out with your full moon. That's what I was trying to tell you guys. If you watched day 3 of the return of the birthing the new earth, I moved the sun and the moon together, and God called this last full moon an ethereal eclipse, okay? Not like the ones you're used to, right? Not like the ones you're used to, but an ethereal eclipse. So what I find interesting about what I'm processing that I just did is, in the Bible, John the Apostle, I think it was John that was talking about the 7 trumpets, and he's who murdered Jesus, okay? He really did. You'll see that on the resurrection. He poisoned him, and then they stole his blood, so that they can write a contract in his blood, and they trapped his soul, and then they burned him. That's what really happened to Jesus, okay? And I had to heal all that. I had to undo the Holy Grail, which was his blood. And that's why we brought down the anointing of the blood of Christ. It was really cool. So in the Bible, John talks about the 7 trumpets, the 7 angels, the 7 trumpets. Well, there's 12. There was truly 12, because there's 12 gates of darkness. There are 12 gates. What are those gates? Well, when you watch my pyramid activations, it's all the things they did to the earth to make it a low vibration and to cut off God. Okay. In the pyramid activations and clearing all of the darkness, there were 12 portals of activations that I did. And it dealt with the pyramid activations and the portal of the Nile. Mount Shasta was portal 1, because that was the veil they created. Okay. So they're all there, and they're all on my channel. So on day 7 of birthing the new earth, day 7 of birthing the new earth, day 1, God put my DM and I together, which was the Adam and Eve timeline, and he put our feet into the core. And I love my DM so much, and I just want him to know that I love him. I'm so blessed. And he put our feet into the core, and we began birthing the Garden of Eden. Day 2, I aligned the planets. And as I'm doing this, I'm cutting off the matrix from all of light. On day 4 was the seasons and food. Day 5 was the new chakra system and undoing all of that of the matrix. So the matrix side does not have a chakra system. It cannot house Christ's light. Day 6, we called back all light, all divination tools. Unless you rise, if you choose to stay in the matrix, you cannot use God's light there. So you will not be able to connect to God at all. You will not be able to do healings. It's just what it is. Because that's what I've done. I've removed all light from darkness. Because of what was done, they cannot combine anymore, okay? That's the rapture. That's what they call the rapture. So you either rise into the new earth or you don't. And I'm so excited about this 13 Gates workshop. So then day 7, I was like, what are we doing day 7? And I think in the Bible it said when God created earth on day 7, he rested. Well, on day 7 it came, and that was the 7th of August, just recently. And the 12 trumpets and angels showed up. And these are not angels that we know of. It kept saying that. These are probably higher ranking angels, right? That don't really associate with earth or deal with helping with people on earth and things. Which, by the way, the only way you're going to be able to interact with angels is in the new earth. They will not stay in the matrix. This is a great reset. So I was like, the 12 angels, it goes with the portal of the Nile, which we are in. We are in the portal of the Nile. And when I brought that through in the return of Christ, they told you there were 13 gates, not 12. And there's not 7 angels of trumpets, but on day 7, the angels rang the trumpets and things would happen in the matrix, like big earthquakes and lightning strikes and fires. That was there. You can watch it. Watch day 7 to see it all. And then the gates of heaven opened after they blew all their trumpets. And this is what we're about to go in now, is the trumpets trumpeting. The angels blowing the trumpets. And as they do that, things in the matrix are going to occur. That's why over these last 5 years that I've been doing this work, people will talk about the angels of trumpets trumpeting. The warnings were being given for those that can see. And the time is now to rise, you guys. So it's so exciting to me to have these validations and to see the work that I did playing out again in real time. And I process it too. I'm like, oh, wow, that's so cool. So 12 angels showed up on day 7, blew their 12 trumpets. And as they did, things would happen in the matrix that were destructive. There will be 3 main events, God said, and you can watch this on day 7 that I just did. That will occur on the matrix side that cause people to look up to see God and to rise to Christ, see Christ, to see who brought it all about. It's not just a man named Jesus, though. It's Adam and Eve. We forgot about them, I think. It's so cool. It's so cool. But it's also Jesus and Mary Magdalene and Sekhmet and Horus, because the sun and the moon, it's all there. All the work that I did is there. All of those timelines are there. And they're playing out in your energy right now. So I'm so excited. So you're feeling this. You're feeling the weight. You're feeling time speed up. You're feeling this pull. And where there is shadow, you're becoming more blinded. Or if you have a lens of love and no more karma, you're starting to rise above. Okay. So it's so cool to see the 12 trumpets of the angels. However, even when I did it, we bypassed like 4 angels because God quickly brought the Nile. He took away your 7 years of tribulation and he made it 6. So he took away a whole year because people were not choosing love. So it's so cool. And then day 8, it was the death and rebirth cycle. So it took you through the final portal of time, which is like when you die, you go through heaven, right? You go through a life review. Yeah, you don't just go into heaven, but you go through a life review. And that's what God's been doing, is a lot of heart reviews, measuring who chooses love over darkness, who chooses love over the shackles that bind. And then all heart reviews were applied, and that was on 888. Okay. Now, God said today, oh yeah, and then I released all of what once was through the North Star and Northeast Asia with the trees there. And then after that, I processed a life that I had there as a Native American. So it's really cool. It was very real. But now I get to do the 13, and I'm just looking at my playlist that I was just showing you guys. But I'm so excited because this is really happening. I almost died bringing through the return of Christ. My body swelled. I lost my twin flame, and I got a beautiful new walk-in who I love dearly. But there's always been darkness trying to keep us apart and trying to convince us of anything outside of love. And it does the same thing to you. Okay, where my work is applied, there's going to be great resistance because I am the one. Okay, and they'll tell you that in the Nile. If you watch the original Nile workshop I did, they tell you I am the one, the queen of life. That's what they tell you. That's what they told me, and I had to process that. Then I cleared the crystal in the core of the earth, called my lifetime of Sekhmet back. The Nile turned blood dry, and then it dried up. It turned blood red, and then it dried up. And they mentioned in there that there were 12 gates of darkness and 13th into heaven. So there was 13 gates, not 12. But there's 12 gates of tribulation that you were meant to go through before you rose into the 13th, which is heaven on earth. And God bypassed about 4 of those trumpets of angels. And that was shown in day 7. So it was really cool to see all of this happen. And we are truly in the final portal now. We are truly in the final portal now. So on the 23rd, I get to bring through the 13 Gates of Abundance workshop for those that hear the call that get to rise above, okay? Because we're coming into true abundance. The only abundance that will be here is those who rise, okay? So there's 12 gates of darkness, 12 testaments to God as we were rising through your 7-year tribulation period. The 13th gate is heaven on earth, and new earth is rising now. And in the birthing of the new earth, like, how can you deny these things? Only if the resistance gets you, can you? Okay. So I know this went a little fast, but I'm so excited and I'm still processing that. And I noticed John, I think it was John the Apostle, and John the Apostle, he's who killed Jesus. And I know that because I processed his death. I undid the Holy Grail, which was not holy at all. It was a contract written in Jesus's blood by John the Apostle himself and 3 others. And they did that to enslave all of mankind. That's where religion came from, all the different ones. And that's why we had to bring down the anointing of the blood of Christ, because I had to cleanse that blood, okay? And it separated my DM and I, it tore us apart, and I've had to bring us back each level, each time from Adam and Eve, Jesus and Mary Magdalene to Sekhmet and Hours. But John in the Bible, which the Bible is not all true, okay? They take truths of it and they jumble it together to create things that aren't true within you. And then in church, people would go and they would have bread and wine, which is what they used to poison Jesus, okay? So really, essentially, they've gotten all of you to do things that go against God. And then they got you to pray to a false God. Okay, it's not to say God's not real, but he's in your heart. And what happened to Adam and Eve, Jesus and Mary Magdalene, Sekhmet and Hours is not what they say happened. And all of that plays out on my channel. But in the Bible, John says there was 7 trumpets, 7 angels, and 3 of them, it was like lightning and fire and a mountain burning, falling into the water. So some of that is true. Mount Shasta goes with that. And on day 7 of birthing the new earth, I did 12. They had 12 trumpets and 12 angels come forward. And they said there will be 3 major events to occur on the matrix side. And it happened on day 7. So you get bits and pieces of truth, but here is the truth. And it's so amazing to see. So if you want to join me, if you get to rise and you can see me and you don't have judgment and fear as your lens, but love and excitement and you're ready to rise above, join me for the 13 gates. It's going to happen for 13 days straight. And in each one, it is gate 1, and I'll be healing and releasing and we'll be detoxing all of what once was. And then gate 2, same thing. And we're going to do it through all 13 gates of abundance. So it will end on September 5th. And you don't have to go to the lives if you join me, right? If you don't, that's okay too. Then maybe you don't hear the call, right? It's for those that do. If you do join it, I will be doing a free healing and messages tomorrow on Facebook for those that join. Okay, so you can also join that. It's just free healing and messages for you because I'm here to help you rise above because the new earth is now, my friends. I'm so excited. On day 7 of birthing the new earth, we just went through day 6. or day 3, 4, 5, and 6 are kind of going to go consecutively because we just went through the full moon with the sun eclipse stuff. God called it an eclipse because it's ethereal. So the sun had a CME at the same time we had the full moon, which both energies went into the earth, which caused a big atomization. Okay. Christ light activation for those that are ready to rise and meant to rise. Because you can only rise if you've chosen love, right? If there's no karma holding you back. And then by day 8, it is heart reviews applied. All right. So we are literally going through the birthing of the new earth right now. You are going through the separation of the matrix to the new earth right now. You are literally going through the return of Christ. It's amazing to see. And in the Nile, part 1, a year ago, I talked about there being 13 gates, not 12. Hence 13 gates to abundance, because that's heaven on earth. But on day 7, the trumpets of angels and 12 trumpets came. 3 major events will occur, and then the gates of heaven opened. And then on day 8, heart reviews were applied. I'm so excited. For those who are joining me, I can't wait. And I hope you come to the live tomorrow on Facebook. It'll be at 3:33 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and you'll get a free healing and message. And then we will start the 13 days on August 23rd, and it's going to go for 13 days straight. You don't have to come to the lives. I do record them. You will get one Zoom link that will allow you access to all 13 days, and I will be healing you through all 13 gates. This is for those that hear the call, those that don't have judgment and fear and ego blinding them, right? That are ready to rise to new earth. Heart reviews applied. 12 trumpets, 12 angels on day 7. Are you feeling me? So John talked about on day 7, there were 7 angels. That's what he said, 7 angels. That's what he said in the Bible, right? John said in the Bible, there were 7 angels, 7 trumpets. I'm saying day 7 because on day 7, we had 12 trumpets and 12 angels. Because it's 12 gates of darkness you had to be cleared through. 12 gates of tribulation that brought you into the new earth. And God bypassed a whole year of time and called it the Great Reset for mankind. So for those who are going to jump on me and be like, she said this, I know I'm going fast and I'm excited because I did the work. I'm still processing. It's amazing. John the Apostle in the Bible talked about 7 trumpets, 7 angels. On day 7 of birthing the new earth, it was actually 12 trumpets and 12 angels because we are in the final portal of the Nile. This is the end of time. I'm so excited. For those that are rising with me, I can't wait. I'm ready for love to rise. The new earth is so beautiful. It's going to be so much abundance. I can't remember which one it was, but God opened up the heavens and dropped gold down to us during the birthing of the new earth. So those that are rising will have abundance. Those that are falling have a karmic play out. The matrix has been completely cut off from the new earth. There is no light there at all anymore. It's amazing what's happening. It's being cut off right now as we speak. Okay, so I do things a little bit ahead of a time, but these are now currently playing out in your environment. So we recently went through day 3 of new earth birthing, and 4, 5, and 6 are going to happen consecutively, God said. And then day 7, the 12 trumpets, which is all karmic applied. And then gates of heaven opened. That's the 3 main events that are going to occur. It's said in day 7 that cause people to look up to the gates of heaven and rise. And then on day 8, it was the death rebirth cycle. You go through that portal review and heart reviews are applied. Okay. So those that make it have pure heart reviews, have a lens of love unconditional. And I'm ready. Are you ready? Can you hear me? Do you hear the call? Do you hear the call? Do you want to join me for the 13 days of abundance? I hope you do. I'm so excited. I don't know about you, but I want joy and love and happiness. And I love, love, love my DM. My new one. I love him so much and I'm so blessed. And I can't wait for you all to meet him too. So much love to all of you. Don't listen to anything of resistance. Don't listen to anything outside of love. Because I still feel that between my DM and I. There was like some healing of wounds that came up, but I could feel it. Like, trust me when I tell you, only love is true. unconditional love, not judgments, not fear, not ego, not thinking you know all because you don't. This is beyond the limited mind space. This is beyond your scientific understanding, and it goes deep into quantum physics for the work that I did, okay? The Bible, listen to the Bible. What it said I found in the Bible was John is who murdered Jesus, okay? He was an apostle, but he followed the fallen. He murdered Jesus through poison of bread and wine. That's why they called it the Last Supper. Then they took his blood. They had Mary, his twin soul, participate. They forced her to, and they wrote a contract, which they called the Holy Grail, enslaving all of mankind and stealing his soul. I fought for over a year to get that part back of my soul, okay? And I almost died 3 times. And I had to undo the Holy Grail, which was written in his blood. Then they also burned him. And so there's a lot to it. There's in Sekhmet and Horus. Horus was actually murdered where the Sphinx lied. And when I freed his soul after the Nile portal, it rose from the Sphinx. So there's so much here that is so amazing and such a blessing and priceless to take part in and to be able to witness and to be able to rise through. So for those that see through the lens of love, that are ready to rise into heavens above, into abundance and golden era of love unconditional, I am here for you. I'm ready to rise. Do you hear the call? I'll see you guys later. The 12 trumpets on day 7, not 7 angels and 7 trumpets. And there will be 3 major events occurring on the matrix side. Main ones. I feel like there's a lot of littler ones also. So much love, my friends. Have a beautiful day. I'll see you later. For those that join me in this workshop, I'll put the link below, okay? Also, you can join Patreon and get all of these full moon healings. We did a massive releasing, you guys. I have all the healings you need, which in truth are priceless. But why do you have to worry? Because the abundance is for those who rise, right? Not on the matrix side, not through fear, not through money control. So understand that the shadow will try to convince you otherwise. But I have all these things available for you, plus all the proof. I don't know about you, but I'm excited. Like I've gone through it. I felt the pain. I rose through it. And I'm ready. I'm ready to rise. Are you? So you can join Patreon if you want to, not too expensive at all. You can get all those healings. Let's see what else. There's still the path of righteousness that God said is about honor, because that is the true entire return of Christ. It takes your karma, it takes everything out for you. It allows you to walk into the new earth. And all you have to do is choose love, and I do everything for you. There was so much. There was so much here for you guys. All the proof of the return of Christ. But for those that hear the call and want to heal through the 13 gates and rise into heaven, but they have to hear that call through their heart, right? It's here for you. I'm excited. Click that link below. Join today. If you join today on the 21st of August, 24, tomorrow on the 22nd, I will be doing a free messages and healings for you on Facebook. Okay? Any questions? Comment below. Just make sure they're of love, or I will remove them because they will hurt you. You don't want to bring anything but love here. All right? Because it's time to rise. You don't want it to be your karmic demise. I don't want it to either. I love you. Until next time, so much love, my friends. Don't let the shadow fool you. That resistance, it'll get you.